Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karina and today I'm back with another book video. So today I want to share my whole March wrap up with you, and these are a bunch of books. These are 12 in total. Oh my god, as you can see, these are many. And without further ado, I would say let's just start right into it because these are a bunch of books. I have little sticky notes on top for the ratings, and let's start where we finished in the last wrap-up video for February. Because I finished the Shatter series, I will go book by book because every book is a totally different rating. First of all, we have Ignite Me. It's the third part. It's a 5-star read for me. I see why people love this book so much. It's really stunning and I enjoyed it a lot. I won't say any spoilers, but if you haven't read the Shatter Me series, you totally need to do. Next up is Restore Me. Restore Me was 4 stars for me because, I don't know, it wasn't just like everything. It wasn't the best out of all. I think that's why I gave it 4 stars, but not because it's bad or not as good. Next up is the novella. We have always some tiny novellas, and there are 2 novellas in one book, and you read them in between the series. And this was 4 stars for me because the novellas aren't like, I don't think I could give them 5 stars because there aren't a whole book, but I just love Kenji and I love Kenji's POV and I love the way he's thinking. So 4 stars for this. Next up is Defy Me. Defy Me was a 5-star read. One of the best in the whole series for me. One of them that made me like feel the most. I had a lot of feelings when I was reading this. I cried at the end. So definitely 5 stars for this one. And last but not least is Imagine Me. This is more like a 3.5 to 4-star read for me. Not because I didn't like it. I loved the storyline. I loved like the whole escape thing, but the ending was a bit fast. So there was like the problem, and in the last 5 pages or so, the problem got solved, and then it's the end, and you were like, what happens now? What's going on? And what's the future? I know there is a novella back after that, which is Believe Me, which I haven't read yet. Maybe this will make things better, but this just felt a bit off and a bit incomplete, if you know what I mean. I don't like those books. I had a lot of such books this month, I can say. And then we come to the books that are no series, and there's the first book with exact the same with the ending. It's Never Never by Colleen Hoover. First of all, the cover is stunning. The cover is beautiful. I love this design. And this is like only a 2.5 or 3-star read for me. But the thing is, I enjoyed this book so much. I loved every page of it and it was so stunning. But the ending, I was like, what the hell is going on? Because this isn't what I expected and it doesn't feel real and it doesn't feel good because it just feels off. I don't want to spoil the ending, but if you don't know this book, it's about 2 people who lose their memories, and they're a couple, and every few days they lose their memories completely, and they want to find out why they lose their complete memory and all that stuff, and you think somebody did something, but the ending and the solution to this problem was like, oh my god, this was just off. It didn't feel right. Next up, another really good book, and it's Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I also annotated it, and the thing is, when I finished reading this book, it was a 4-star read for me, but now when I think back, it's maybe a 5-star read. I don't want to give it 5 stars, maybe 4.75. Because I think about this so often. It felt like when you're talking with your mom, you know, these days when you're just sitting on the couch or in the kitchen and you have a glass of wine and there are so many wise things that come up in these evenings when you're like just talking with someone over a glass of wine. It's so philosophical, and this was the feeling this book gave me. And so often I picked it up again and searched for a line I annotated to show someone because it was fitting, and it's so good. I don't know, when I finished it, it really was only a 4-star read, but now that I think about it, it was even better. I can recommend it to everyone, but please check the trigger warnings before reading this, because this was also a bit of tough. Next up we have a 5-star read, one of the best books of this month, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This was stunning. If you saw my last book wrap-up video for February, then you know that I loved The Secret History. And a lot of people tell that these are pretty similar, and they are, but on the same side they are completely different. They are just like cousins, I think. And this was so good, and the ending made me cry so freaking much. And I didn't expect it, because normally when I buy books, I check out TikTok a little bit, and then you know when you have a sad book. And I don't expect it to cry that much. The ending just destroyed me. I was crying like a baby, and I couldn't get over it. Like, I was sobbing, and I couldn't breathe for like around half an hour because it just messed with me. It was so stunning. It was so good. I loved the way that it's written, that this whole book is like he tells somebody what happened, and that's the book, like that's the story. And if you don't know this book, it's a little bit written like a Shakespeare's, or maybe I can find a page. So you don't have chapters. That's the first thing. There are no chapters, and they're like acts. So this is act 1, act 2. And then there's with every act a prologue, and then after that, as I said, there are no chapters, there are like scenes. I don't know if you can see it good, but then it's scene 1, scene 2, and so on and so on. And this made so much fun to read. I just loved it, that it's written like this, because it's just different, and now I really want to read a classic. Because in school we needed to read a lot of classics, but German classics, and we read Goethe, if you know Goethe. And I enjoyed Goethe's really much. I think I was one of the only students that enjoyed these books, but I just love it. And now I want to read Goethe again. Next up is a book that wasn't that good in this month. It's The Stolen Heir by Holy Plague. This is like a 3-star read for me. I don't know why. Again, the ending felt a bit off for me. But there's a second part coming out, so maybe this will be better. But somehow, normally I like books where there's a lot of traveling, and this was the case for this one. But in this book, it just get boring. You know, I wasn't that hooked, and I wasn't that into it. I read it really fast, like in 2 days or so, but there isn't also a lot to read. Like, it's not that big, even though it looks really big now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the second part because I love the Fog of Air series, but I need to see where this is going. We have some books that I hoped will make me cry, because I wanted to do a only sad books video where I cry my soul out. I messed up, but there will be something similar coming this month for sure. But we have If He Had Been With Me. This is, I think, a 3.5 or 4-star read for me. The thing, four stars. The thing is, I liked the book and I really enjoyed the storyline, but again, the ending was so fast. Like, you already know what is about to happen when you start the book, because in the first chapter there's already an explanation about what is happening. And the thing is, like, I have to check out. So here is the thing. This is the page where the bad thing happens. So where you're supposed to cry, and then you have 1, 2, and 3 pages. And that's it. Then there's the acknowledgements and the book is over, and I wanted to know what was happening to her, so to Autumn, how she gets through life and how will she deal with all that stuff that just happened. Like, there was so many things that happened in the last 5 pages, and then it's done, and I was like, what happens now? I want to know. I really want to know what happens to her. And I know there is a book in Finn's POV coming out this year, but if you read this book, you may know what happens, and I don't know how this will explain the rest that is going on. So I feel like I want to know more, and I want to see what happens after the whole drama. How is she gonna survive this, you know? I don't know. It was a bit off. I liked the storyline, I liked the writing. It was really easy to read. It was a bit like a young adult, but I'm not sure if I would say it's a young adult, but I think it's a young adult. Sadly, it's not standing on the cover, but yeah, I don't know. Next up is Every Summer After. This is such a cute book. I just adored it. I gave it 4 stars because it wasn't quite a 5-star read, but I just adored it. I like really this small town thing. I'm a small town girly. I love all small town books. Things We Never Get Over was also one of my favorite books ever, and it's also small town. The thing here is it's not only small town. So it's like she's living in a city, but she goes on vacation to small town. And what I also really liked about this book is the different timelines. I just like different timelines. I know a lot of people don't, but I think I can relate more because you always switch the times, and you always see different facets of the people, of the main characters, and how their thinking developed. And I really liked that about this book. I'm excited for the other book that is coming out from Carly Fortune. I think it's Meet Me at the Lake. But yeah, this was cute. This was just like a little cute book. And last but not least, we have Archer's Voice. This is my favorite book of the month. This is a 5-star read for me. This was so good. Again, I bought this because of the Only Sad Books video, and I hoped that I would cry. And I did cry, but not that much, because when something bad happened, it got like, the solution came like 2 pages after. It was more like a shock, like a heart attack, and then it was all fine. I annotated it also. You can see I annotated really a lot, and that's why I loved it so much. This book was just stunning. I enjoy it so much. I don't know what it is. It just made me happy. And the thing is, this is like a series with the zodiac signs, and this is about Sagittarius, and I am a Sagittarius, so I think that's why I can relate that much to the main character. I see a lot of people who say they don't like Pri, and for me, I just can totally relate to her. I feel like she and me are the same person. And yeah, that's it for the books that I finished this month. I also started The Light We Lost, and today is the 31, so the last day of the month. I don't know if I will finish it today, but if I will, then I will just hang a little update after this clip. But if not, then I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this little chat about books, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bye!